My straight up reaction to this book is it was pretty darn good. If you're into the occult, if you're into fiction, of course, and Sherlock Holmes, perfect match. Online, they gave it 4 stars. I see where they're coming from. I wasn't like pulled in like Dan Brown and all the mysteries involved and all the hype. But it was definitely interesting in the beginning. It got a little slower in the middle, and then you got some lore explained at the end. And what I would be curious to know is more of Sherlock's opinion of what happened in the book, because there's a lot of stuff that challenges Sherlock's beliefs. So that was something I would have liked to have thrown into the story. It's been a while since I picked up a book. I did think that it was a little bit too long. That was the feeling I got, but that could just be because, I'm still getting used to what it's like to read a 400-page book. I liked the genre of deep sea, like you have a deep sea god, because it's always been interesting to me how an occultist might interact with the notion. And also when you're involved in these spiritual realities, you kind of realize they're true. Wow. But what they didn't do, and I thought they might do this, so this is going to be a spoiler, is I thought they would say to themselves, you know what? Turns out the fumes that were going into us was causing us to hallucinate. And spoiler, that none of that happened. There was no hallucination. The creatures were real. The genetic modifications were real, and the seemingly supernatural occurrence that literally had no scientific explanation was how the plot line implied itself. So I was upset about that. I was not impressed by that. I thought they would go down a scientific direction, or if they go down the magical direction, at least incorporate some of Sherlock Holmes' reactions and how this changed his life, like what he's gonna do now that he learned that this happened. So maybe there's a sequel. I don't think so. There's a bunch of connecting books, perhaps in juxtaposing books they ended up, connecting them. I don't know. That would be interesting to check out. But from what I grasp, the book, that's not the intention of the series. It's probably gonna be an entirely new thing, maybe with some references that are not so complex. Because if he's gonna use a scientific mind, it's not in the author's favor to change his entire outlook and structure and way of thinking as this detective. So overall, it gets an 7.9 out of 10, and a 4 out of 5.